Hey, Cubis. How's it going? We're gonna start in a couple minutes. I'm running an ad break right at the top, just so we don't get pre-rolls. All right, let's get going. All right, here we go. Day 4 here, episode 4 of post-jam development on Following Wind. Sorry if I got the sniffles a little bit this morning. We've been working on our cloud wind construct, Gust, aka Gus. I'm getting happier with it. Let's say I'm not super happy with it yet, but I think it's good. I think it's okay. The shadow's a little funky. I think it helps. Do we want to Y-sort the wins? That's a real good question. Thought we were. We were not. Let's try that. See if that fixes some of that weirdness. I guess it doesn't. I guess why sorting a transparent object is like meaningless. It should still do something, I thought, but maybe not. Alright. Already having to drop the ban hammer. It's too early in the morning. The arrow is nice too, I think. I think we're addressing some complaints. There's only one arrow, and maybe that's a problem. Maybe not. It's like there's just a single one. The wind looks better, I think. Like we still got our little cool curlicues. The cloud gives you a pretty definite idea of where the collision is. No wind limit? No. Because I actually think having more winds is a lot worse than having less. But we'll see. I think we want to try to implement speed soon. Like both wind speed and ship speed. Maybe we do that today. There's a few things I want to do. Wind speed is one. Try out some different ship designs is another one. Maybe try wind strength and have that affect ships. Like have a different drag be greater wind speed. That could be good. I probably want to change the way the swirls look. Probably only want the swirls to show up once we start moving, yeah. In which case, I guess I don't want the swirling around ones. I don't know. It's maybe too messy. We can worry about that later. Kind of weird that that's not Y sorting, but yeah, maybe it has to do with the fact that they're transparent. This can also be Y sorted. Maybe it doesn't work because the gust itself isn't. What if you get like one new wind per minute playtime, but the wind always stays around on the screen? Maybe. That could work. I feel like we punish spam adequately enough. Because like the more times you're throwing, the more winds you throw out on one side of the map, the more shit, more crazy butterfly effect shit's happening on the other side of the map. So I don't know if that's where the difficulty comes in. I think the difficulty comes in just the slow way that the ships turn. I also kind of fixed the ship wake. I kind of fixed it. It's not going to be perfect until we change the ships right a little bit. I think the arrow helps a lot. Doesn't help if you just do this, I guess. I guess it helps a little. Because a lot of people will just drag and release. They won't drag and hold. So maybe we need a little more opacity or something. Yeah, I guess Y-Sword is meaningless for particle effects, it seems. Which makes sense. Maybe need to come up with some kind of system to handle when two winds hit a ship like very close to each other. But I don't know. Maybe I don't. Let's do check. Let's look at speed. Let's look at wind speed and ship speed. So we're using this somewhere. Where are we doing this? Oh, this is on the input arrow. Maybe the input arrow should just be part of the gust and not its own separate object. There's maybe an argument for that. Because we kind of want some of this stuff. Like, we want to know the magnitude of the click. We want to know a bunch of this stuff. So maybe that makes sense. I see the argument. Let's maybe do that. We would want to... We could just make a new sprite. And we just need to look at our old input arrow here. Okay. Really don't need to know what it is in the name. Unnecessary. Where else are we using this? Why are we putting this out here? This could totally not be here. This could be like... It's here. Anyway, how are you doing, Cubus? How was your week then? We made it to Friday. Initializing tracking mouse. So we're tracking mouse. So we just start by tracking mouse. That makes sense. Mouse start. Okay, so this has a lot of the same stuff here. We should be able to move most of this code over pretty easily. Do we... I don't know. 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 I Okay, so we're using look position for a lot of stuff. It's fine, I guess. It's different than the difference, though. Oh, no, it's not, because the mouse start is the same as the... Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. All right, okay, so that is different. And we'll say, like... No, let's rename this stuff. Arrow. Shadow. We actually don't want the swirling particles. We might save these for a different thing. Let's get rid of them for now. We want these though. These wisps. Doing good making pancakes? Oh, that's awesome. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, pancakes would be good. I think tomorrow might be my pancakes day. This is my reward for making it to the weekend here. Oh, so there's cloud, and there's going to be sprite and particles. So maybe we say... we just make a node 2D. Set here. Call it cloud. Right, particles. Shadow could probably be part of the cloud. Cloud, wisps, arrow. Alright, I'm happy with that. So let's replace these and see what happens. We can also just say, I guess collision shape 2D is fine. Call it collider. I don't know, whatever. Just leave it, give it its basic name. I was using fairly long names when I started in Godot here, because that's what I'm used to, but I just have so little screen space to work with. I'm starting to head more into the short name camp here, even if it's a little unclear what I'm talking about. So we are changing the particle straight look at. What we could do is say wisps. That's what I've been calling them. Wisps look at. Collider. This whole section needs to change. I think we're gonna just call this something else. I guess we can just keep it here. I was gonna put it in a function, but if it's just in one spot, it doesn't really matter. So if we're not fading out, And if the look position dot length is greater than or equal to 10. So this part we don't need anymore. We don't need that. We can say cloud. So we can modulate the whole gust, huh? You have a visibility. You have your own modulate, right? Just say we don't even need to put in the self, but I think it helps it a little bit, and we don't even need the module. It fades out then. Just fade out the whole gust. Not fading out. We're actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna fade in the wisps. Wisp.modulate.a lerp f. Color white, we just say 1. What did I put mod speed here for? Was it to slow it down? Yeah, we can't. I guess we can. I guess the final number is not over 1. I think it's fine. Delta times 10 is not. Is going to always be a fairly small number, I think, in any real world case. So we're fading out the wisps. We also want to fade out the arrow. Oh, we want to fade the arrow out. Oh, we want to fade in the wisps and fade out the arrow. That's what we want to do. Arrow dot. A f arrow dot modulate dot a. I've been fiddling with my audio sounds over the last few days, so let me know if like anything's weird, like I'm too quiet, the music's too loud, stuff like that. Fade the arrow out, we'll fade it out a little slower. That's simpler for sure. Is the cloud position different? That's not safe. We're gonna just do an offset. I didn't know how to draw clouds, so I ended up doing a particle thing. I think it looks okay. I don't think it looks great, but I think it's okay. So cloud needs to start at full transparency. So do its little particles and stuff. Sprite self. No, yeah, you should start at full transparent. Oh no, you were already at whatever I consider full transparency. It's 63. Wisps start at nothing. Okay. Shadow is relatively good. Arrow should start with no visibility. Okay. We're referencing particle straight somewhere. Oh, here we go. So we need to say wisps. That rotation. What else do we need to do? So this block is the... So this, actually, we don't need this to be here. We need this to be... So, look. So we don't need this check here, because we actually make this check down here. Else if look position.length is less than 10 and not fading out. Fading out is true. Otherwise, if we're not gusting, collider.disabled, it's false. Collider, else. So this is when we clean up initialization. This is when we set the gust direction. This is also when we could set the wisps. We could actually technically do it here. I've introduced a 1 frame delay by doing this and then doing this. It's probably not good. Yeah, we can change that. We can just get rid of one of these. You can say collider is wisps.lookat. Say gusting. It's true. So we can get rid of this one. Well, let's not mess with it, actually. I see a reason why we have that. Yeah, we don't need it, but we've got it, so... Mouse position not declared in the current scope. Okay, so we need to... We can either store the mouse position. What are we doing here? Are we saving any of this? Global position in between. We could use the arrow's position, honestly. We could use the arrow's position as our look at position. It's actually not a bad idea. And declare a vector 2 with just one variable? Yeah, yes I can. So we actually don't need this. We can say, we can actually use scaled magnitude for this stuff if we saved it, which we don't. So we could just, the math up for scaled mag and everything is a little crazy. We could say, we could just check the Where are we using this? Just here? Okay, yeah, we can get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of this. Could actually just set the wisp rotation to be the arrow rotation. Let's try that. Simplifies my problem. If it works, assuming it works. Oh, we do need to know what this is though. So we should store this, gust magnitude. I guess that's part of gust velocity, but we aren't calculating gust velocity yet. We could say gust intensity. I don't like that better. It doesn't have the same I want to consolidate some of this, but for now let's just say gust intensity is difference dot length. We'll probably want to clamp that, so we'll probably end up using like this value maybe, or something. We'll use some kind of clamped value. We'll say if gust intensity less than something. We're not really sure what. Let's print it. Just so we can pick a value that makes sense here. Pick a range. No. So, oh, we could actually set this earlier. We don't need to set this down here. We could say gust direction equals I don't know why we need mouse start. We just need to use our global position, right? Just say this. And actually need to track mouse start. So we can say gust direction is the difference dot normalized. Oh, we could just say it's normalized. It's normalized. Variable magnitude. Difference dot length. Let's just say that. I also don't necessarily need to do this here. You can also do this here. And the rest of this is just cleaning stuff up. It's not actually doing anything. Really flip this. Make it, if not initializing, do this. Otherwise initialize. That should give a little hint, but it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. We need to clean up all our velocity stuff. Our velocity code is trash. This is also dependent on performance speed, probably. No, maybe not, because I'm actually translating with delta applied. Which I was not doing with the ship. We were just lerping with delta. We weren't translating with delta. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we broke it, if it's going to work. Let's see. I think some stuff is going to behave weirdly. Yep, instantly crashed. Non-existent vector 2 constructor. Oh, so I can't just use a single value. Well, okay. Rip. Okay, well, the particle rotation stuff is working. What happens if I let it rip? So our only issue is that the particles, the wisps, modulate says nothing there. It says it's blank. Oh, if not fading out, I see. I see. We need to collapse this a little bit. So I guess we actually want the arrow to start with full pass. Oh, we aren't even looking at this arrow. We still have our input arrow. We need to get rid of the input arrow. Want to have the arrow per gust. So, but right. So we can control the modulates here. So if we're not fading out, we will fade the arrow. So if we're not initializing anymore, and we're not fading out, the arrow will fade out, the wisps will fade in. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to fade out and then queue itself free. That seems good. I think I like putting self before functions. I don't know why. Guess I like knowing what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do that for global scope though. Okay, so the arrow is not yet working. I like how the little wisps try to chase the cloud. Okay, so that fades out pretty quickly. That's good. Maybe too quickly, honestly. Oh, my microphone was muted. Maybe that's it. You can still see me though, right? I was just mumbling about gust velocities. Yeah, OBS says I'm okay. We back? Okay. Oh no, you're right. I'm at like zero. I'm at 0 viewers and 43. I guess there was a disconnect. Oh, that sucks. Oh, well, the YouTube bot will be consistent at least. I was watching my Ludum Dare VODs, my Saturday, Sunday ones. They're like my marathon streams. My YouTube video just ends on the second day after like 12 hours, even though we streamed for like 15 hours. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I hit some kind of limit on YouTube for like VOD length. Luckily it ended like basically right as we submitted the game. We were finishing the builds and working on our itch page. YouTube has a limit? Okay, I must have hit it. Is it length or maybe file size? Because it was a 1440p stream. And it was almost 12 hours long. Okay, well I'll keep that in mind for the future. I'll try to keep my marathon streams to 12 hours or less. Length? Okay, okay. So wise. Man, I'm looking at your subscriber badge, Cubus, and I feel like I need to thicken the lines, the D and the I. I think I want to make them 2 pixels wide, just thicken up the shape. I'm not really happy with how that turned out. I think it would look a lot better. Not today's problem. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. We need... Yes. And also a bigger eye. But yes. Kind of just in general having a bit of a branding crisis, because my main game is supposed to be called Digital Iliad, but now Digital Iliad has like become like my brand identity. More so than it's become the name of a specific game. I think you need to figure that out. Okay, so wind direction should just be gust velocity. So wind direction right now is locked to the 8 cardinal directions, which is probably important. You can theoretically rename a Twitch channel, but yeah, easier to have a person name disconnected from the game name. Yeah. I was not ever really planning to do stuff like this though, like game jams and like small projects. I thought I was like all in on my main project, my multi-year, my 5-year mission, as it were. But this is turning out way better than I thought, and I'm pretty stoked to work on a couple small games a year. We just got to try really hard to not let it become, like, not let it take over everything. Like, so we still have some time for FTL, or FTL-like. But yeah, I'll probably end up renaming. That's how the jams get you. Yeah, I think I had an unusual experience in that I had a really hard time, but the game came together with a really solid foundation. I was really expecting my first game jam to kind of be a disaster. Alright, I don't know. Maybe this one is good. Maybe this is good enough. So we're actually carrying the speed over. So we've got the speed over here, but how is that going to affect... we have to fix this. We have to fix this nightmare. This nightmare of ship velocity code. Sometimes the side project needs to become a main project. Yeah. Seems like that's what's going to happen for a little while. But hopefully not too long. Our goal is actually to just punch this up, punch this main scene up to such an extent that at the end of our post-mortem that I hope to publish after the ratings have come out, at the end of the post-mortem we can have a little trailer that's just like footage taken from this version of the game. And maybe a Steam page, just so we can put a call to action at the end of our post-mortem. That's like kind of the goal, but I only have like a couple weeks to do that, so... Play with Versifer had something like that. Developed a game for 5 years, joined a jam. Jam game did better than the main game, and now it is the main game. Yeah. And they were also named after the first game. Oh, lol. Okay, well, it seems like I'm in good company then. Alright, so process. Norm direction. Where's this norm direction come from? That's the ship. That's the direction of the ship. Okay, so wind velocity should not be norm direction. We'll need to multiply this by something for the initialization. Right. So right now the wind is locked to the 8 cardinal directions, the way we interpret it, so that's okay. I kind of want to unlock that so that there's some drift, so that the ships drift a little bit. I think that would be okay. Like, I think I want to skip this part. I think I want to just say... it does need to be... Oh, no. Let's see. Oh, let's not do that immediately. Let's try to get speed. Let's try to get velocity in, and then we can think about unlocking the wind a little bit in terms of direction. So ship velocity is lerp norm direction times max speed delta times wind dot product. Okay, so it's the norm direction. When do we reset the norm direction? So every frame we say norm direction is norm direction dot move towards norm direction dot rotated clamped angle. Okay, so angle to wind. Angle to wind, wind direction. So this part's all fine. What we need to do is look down here. And we actually need to introduce the velocity to an extent. I guess we need to say, I guess what we need to store is not wind velocity, but wind intensity. Sorry, I ended up making myself kind of a big breakfast. I'm kind of struggling to get through. Yeah. I'm torn about having this whole if else thing. I would like to be able to represent this formulaically, but I'm worried that if I do this incorrectly, the ship will start going backwards. But maybe that's easy to deal with by like having the wind dot product cancel itself out by like using the wind dot product along with the absolute value of the wind dot product, so that, you know, if the wind is at your back, you actually get double the benefit. If the wind is at your side, it doesn't really change anything. And if the wind is ahead is coming at you, it like slows you to a crawl. Maybe we can do something like that. What would that look like? That would be like ship velocity is... We really shouldn't be lerping this, but we're going to continue to do this. We're going to say norm direction times wind intensity times wind dot product. Actually, it should be wind dot product plus the absolute value of wind dot product. Probably being a little too verbose. I could probably just call it wind dot. Or wind dot prod or something. So this will take a direction, multiply it by the wind intensity. Does it need to be like... It can't be that. It needs to be like ship velocity plus I'm actually kind of just flailing around here, but we're going to try some different stuff and see what works. Delta. That is almost certainly wrong. I don't know if I need to put ship velocity in here. Because we want the ship to just... No, because I guess we want this. We want to be able to take the wind from the sails. So if the wind dot product... So if the wind... So yeah, if a wind comes at you and hits you sideways, it's going to snatch the wind out of your sails. So this is correct, I think. Dot prod. Let's call it that. Dot product. I wonder if there's a replace. There probably is a replace tool. Doesn't seem to be right here, but... Right, the ships should some... Oh, I need to comment this part out. Oh, not the whole thing, just this part. They're not going to come in on screen fast enough because I don't have a default. I have a default wind strength. Let's have everyone come in at the maximum wind strength. Let's say wind intensity equals 40. So that's what it is on the other script. What are we using wind velocity for? I'm not really using it at all. We just use it at the beginning to dot the norm oh, we use it here to dot the norm direction. Wind velocity. Okay, so we are setting this. This should actually be wind direction. Dot dot. Oh. Okay. It's the only place we use it, yeah? We use it here. This should match what we're doing now. Yeah, wind direction is a 2i. That we don't want that. We want wind direction to be vector 2, and then we'll get it into the 2i state later. So we do need to set this. At least for now. Oh, hey, Sozy. How's it going? Sorry, I didn't see you there. Why did we score? Did a ship just come in at, like, insane speed? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, so 40 is too high. What am I doing? Oh, I see. I see what I'm doing. Yeah, nyom. That's still way too fast, but what happens if I hit it with a... Okay, what happens if I hit it with a really slow one? Okay, it still just is newming. We're trying to introduce speed to the game. We've got, Sozy, we've got speed on the wind now. So you can summon different speed intensities, but the ships seem to be having a little bit of a mind of their own here. Actually, it seems to be working. I think I've just picked poor values. You were wondering? Yeah, a transition? Yeah, I was a Unity hobbyist for a long time. This is outrageous what's happening here. And then at the end of last year, I switched to Godot for reasons. This is hilarious what's happening right now. So this seems to largely be working. This is just, the intensity is way too crazy. Was it hard to make the U move? You're a Unity dev yourself? I don't think so. But I was mainly doing 2D stuff in Unity anyway, so for 2D, Godot is like much better. I really do like the Godot scene tree system. It's a little unintuitive at first, I think, but you get used to it really quickly. Yeah, I like it a lot. For 3D, I'm not so sure. I haven't done anything in 3D in Godot, but it seems intuitive. In Unity, I spent the last couple of years in Unity doing stuff with their data-oriented tech stack. Like, I was really big into their ECS pipeline, but it was before, like, it exited, like, you know, experimental phase, so you ended up having to do a lot of stuff yourself. Like, I ended up with my own, like, scriptable render pipeline, you know, and that was just such huge pain. And I just kind of got disillusioned about Unity's ability to coalesce around their new dots stuff. And then a bunch of other stuff happened, so making the jump to Godot has felt really good for me so far. Especially as a solo developer, I feel like Godot is a lot better. Cuba says, the more you're used to Unity, the more you might have to relearn. It'll be much faster to accept that it's a different engine with different concepts than trying to turn Godot into Unity. Yeah, but on the bright side, everyone that has publicly talked about porting their Unity games to Godot they've managed. They've managed to do it. Just Codes got their game from Unity and Godot in what seemed like pretty reasonable time. I mean, Megacrit has switched to Godot for Slay the Spire 2. And they were able to get a prototype up in like a matter of weeks, which is pretty incredible. Oh, you like the Cloud Shadow Xenomoth? Even as a dev team, it's nice, especially for scene file diffs and Git. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, we've kind of broken the ships, but I think the clouds are looking pretty good. I think I might need to slow down the wispies a little bit more. They're kind of following maybe a little too closely, or maybe I need to make them a little less opaque. Or maybe I need to make the clouds more opaque. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm going to have a hard time judging this until we have more of an ocean texture going, which I think might be my big project this weekend, is figure out how I want to do some ocean shading. By shading, I mean like shaders. Shaders or textures or something to like give the ocean some depth here. I think that's like a big thing we need to work on. It doesn't seem like I can use like the Just Codes like solution that I know DevDuck has used, just because I don't have a height map. But I don't know. Okay, we gotta fix this ship speed thing. So this seems to be mostly working. So they basically slow down as they turn. Maybe their acceleration factor is just way too much. They really come screaming off the edge of the map here. The way we've written the sail adjustment system is pretty cool, because it means they'll slow down as long as the wind is facing away from them, but as soon as they're with the wind again, they'll pick up speed. Which is maybe not how it should work. But I kind of don't mind if that is how it works. Our problem is just the max gust speed. Okay, so the ships end up going faster than the max gust speed, which is a problem. It's because I'm adding together the dot product. So I can sort of fix that by doing this. I height map, need a water shader. Yeah, we need some kind of ocean shader, and the only one I know about is Just Codes water shader for their game, which was adapted by DevDuck, and a number of other people, but it's based around using a height map to an extent, which I don't have. I mean, I could just make a height map, so it's like not the end of the world, but it was more intended for procedurally generated levels. Have a look here. Pixel art water. Yeah, this is the Jess Codes one. I'm pretty sure. Just looking at it. Yeah, this is the Jess Code solution. So, I mean, we could try to just use this. Okay, instead of a global height map, you use the color channels of the texture. Interesting. Red is outline, green is foam, blue is depth transparency. Okay, this looks pretty promising. I don't really need to use it with a tile map per se, which is also maybe the problem, but we could figure it out. I could just make a tile map. Yeah, we could probably just do this, and that will probably get us at least there. It's pretty complex as far as the stuff goes, but it's already been thoroughly tested and written, so I'm not super concerned. We would just need to be careful about having good inputs. I'm a little concerned that it's so recognizable, but it might be a good enough start. There's probably some other solutions too. Reflections could be cool. There was also something that I think maybe Fubar was telling us about. It was more of like the way you would render water for like a Wind Waker 2D water shader. That looks pretty cool. Oh, was that available for 4X? It didn't say 4X. Do they use the 4X tag just to say it won't work on 3? I mean, this came out at the beginning of this year, so I feel like this will work for 4. Godot 4. Images and videos and assets depicted in those do not fall under this license. Okay, I see. Yeah, we might end up using something like this. This one looks cool too, though. I don't know if this is meant... This is probably meant to be used in 3D anyway, if it's Wind Waker. It's also maybe not what we want. It's not pixel art. But yeah, we'll probably just use the Jess Codes. It's really... Thanks for the link, though, because this... I thought I was going to have to do my own adaptation. I thought I was going to have to pull from... Because Jess uploaded all of the code under the MIT license. It's cool that someone did the groundwork here to get this into Godot. Canvas item tag means it's for a 2D node. Okay, cool. This one's pretty cool. Not really pixel art. Yeah, it's probably going to be just codes or nothing. Adding in some reflection could be cool too, though. Yeah, this might be my weekend project. Sick. Okay, definitely bookmarking this. Spatial is the Godot 3 name for Node 3D. Right. Alright, bookmarked. Yeah, this is good suggestion. This is exactly what we were thinking about using. And I think at our resolution, this will actually work pretty well. We can always make our own texture. Like if we want a more unique look, we can use the underlying tech and just make our own texture for it. That's probably what we'll end up doing. So I think this one is maybe a little too fine, but maybe not. Maybe it's perfect. But yeah. Good looking out, Cubas. We got ads coming up in 30 seconds. I'll probably take a 2-minute break to just eat some more of my breakfast. But we still got over an hour left. I know the session thing is messed up because we had a stream interruption, but we've been going for about an hour and a half. Probably got another hour and a half left. So we got plenty of time to make some more progress on this. What was I going to do, though? The first thing I was going to try to do was fix the ship stuff, the ship speed. So our problem here is we are adding the wind product to the absolute value of the wind dot product so that we cancel it out. And so we need to do that. Maybe divide that by 2. Does that look? So these ships should be coming in at maximum speed. That is maximum speed. It's still a little fast, I think. Okay, and then the actual wind is a little more reasonable. I need to do some debugging and see what the kind of wind velocity we're actually dealing with at maximum speed. What happens when you hit it directly? Yeah, the acceleration factor is also too high. We need to slow the acceleration factor down. I want a full turnaround to be a little bit more ponderous. I think with the wisps, with the wind wisps, it's reasonable to feel like you can fully turn around and still catch the wind in time. We just want to slow it down a little. Probably need to add a little more precision. We also probably want to change the wake intensity to be tied to the ship's speed. It's kind of braking at this speed. That's okay. I need to squish vertically to get the 45-degree down look. Right. DevDuck talked about that. Yeah, I was watching DevDuck's video. Duck Devs. That's his name, right? Duck Dev? Not DevDuck. It's one of the two. I was watching his video last night. The drifting is pretty fun. Yeah, we just need to lower the speed. All right, ads. I'm going to take a quick break. 2-minute break. Be right back. All right, I guess that was 2 minutes. So we're going to keep tuning this. So let's define a constant acceleration. This is like radically overcorrecting here, but I guess it should be acceleration times delta. Okay, we're gonna get 10% acceleration, which is we're gonna be way too slow. Okay, so that's actually made the drifting problem much worse. I see. I understand. I understand how acceleration works. Should we try doing this with like a physics body? Like a character body 2D or a rigid body or something? Would we have a better time? Yeah, the drifting is really bad. Okay, so the acceleration was not the problem. The top speed is maybe the problem. But what if we don't update win.product every frame? Okay, so that would be turning a ship around, and then you would need to... And then they would be stopped. Same way they would turn, and they would just barely get going. Okay, so that's not exactly the behavior we want. We do want them to turn and try to catch the wind. That's way more fun. Maybe we need like a rotation speed. Move towards delta times speed. Maybe we're turning too quickly. Let's reduce our turning speed a little bit. It's better. Let's go down to 1. Let's get rid of turning speed. Actually, let's just get rid of it for now. So also, the norm direction is the angle to the wind. The norm direction is the sail's direction, right? Ship direction is normal. Sail direction is norm direction not rotated. But when are we resetting norm direction? Norm direction is norm direction dot move towards clamped angle. I guess that's fine. Okay, so we've slowed down the turn speed, so this ship will turn. It'll just take a little longer to turn. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, that's way better. Problem is, I think it's changing its... This is okay. Oh yeah, it's coming in at a way higher... That is a weird wiggle it's doing right there. They always do that? Now is maybe when we unlock the wind direction stuff. So let's change wind direction to not need to be a vector 2i. In which case we can just say wind direction is gust velocity dot normalized. And we can get rid of gust normalized. And we would say wind dot product is the wind direction dot ship dot wind direction dot ship direction. Yeah, we need to change the wind direction to be a vector 2. Get rid of this. We'll just say it's norm direction. Oops. Oh yeah, I was gonna try to see what the wind intensity we're getting is, or the gust velocity. Let's say print gust velocity. I'm curious because in our gust velocity is limited to max speed, which we're never going to hit because it's... Oh no, we will hit, so this is the maximum speed. Maybe we need to apply some kind of maximum speed to the ship too. Have this and introduce a clamped magnitude of some kind. I don't really want to do that because we should... If we clamp the wind intensity, the ship intensity will only ever be this or less. So I feel like we shouldn't need to do that here. Maybe the just starting ship intensity is just too high. Starting wind intensity, as it were. Okay, so where else are we using wind direction? Norm direction, angle to wind direction, fine. Clamped angle, fine. Where are we using angle to wind? There, so that's fine. And it's norm direction, which is not locked. So we're gonna say, oh, this should just work. Wind direction not being a vector 2i should just be fine. Shouldn't need to make any other changes. I'm hoping that will make the ship look better, because now it'll move at in a way that's not locked to the 8, whole integer vectors. So yeah, now it's drifting a little. That looks way better. What if we tell it to go this way? Okay, its top speed is maybe a little high. Maybe not. Maybe you want... So if you send them on a slow... Yeah, okay, they're going slow. We definitely need to change the way the wake works then. I think the wake is a little funky. That's okay, that's like the least of our problems. God, I made it so I can do this. I can't affect anything while I'm in this mode, so this is probably not a good thing to do. Is this better to have it be like a wind that you... No, this isn't really in line with the game as it exists. You shouldn't really be able to do that. Can I speed it up though now? Yeah, you can. We need to be able to communicate that with the sail. We're going to need different versions of the sail that look like they're either with the wind or like not with the wind. Which is fine. We're going to make the ships a little bigger. Right now the ships are pretty small. The ships are going to be a little bigger. Do the ships go faster diagonally than up and down? I think we might need to deal with that. Yes, the answer seems to be yes. Maybe not. I'm gonna need like a weird contrived example of that. I might not get for some time here. This is what people have asked for, though, the ability to speed ships up. And that is something we give them. That is something that they can do now. Oh, so are you also able to speed ships up more if you hit them from afar? Oh, I didn't hit that one, so let's try to see if that works. Oh, yeah. That's a huge difference. And that's because of the velocity. We're only communicating the velocity, not the intensity. Maybe that's good, because that means you're kind of limited in your ability to affect a ship when you spawn a wind on top of it. But if you hit a wind from, like if you're able to hit a wind from afar, you can do way more. Or you can hit it with more force than you would otherwise. It's way too fast, though. We need some kind of max speed. Let's look at our printouts. I want to print out the intensity, not the gust velocity dot length. Yeah, I might need to put the intensity. No. Because yeah, spawning a wind directly on top of a ship should be a high precision maneuver. So like it makes sense that doing this is not going to be as effective as like hitting them, letting the wind pick up speed and then hit the ship. Actually, I guess that speed is correct, assuming that... Oh no, it just matches. So maybe we want it to be a function, like we want it to be like half the wind intensity or something like that. So let's add another constant. Let's call it damp. Let's say we divide all of this by damp. We can dampen that effect. We are taking the wind intensity. Let's get rid of this trash. There we go. If there are some clouds that the player didn't spawn just messing around, that's a good idea, you know, Moth. We considered that, and I'm tempted to do that. But if those exist, I am kind of tempted for you to be able to grab a wind. Like, that's not how it works right now, but I think that would be kind of cool. So if you hit a wind at full speed like this, it really gets you cooking. I think that's a good idea. Just have winds kind of blowing in from off the screen sometimes or something like that. I think we maybe want to hit the ship with increasing amounts of damping the higher the wind velocity was. I don't know, maybe not. Could scale wake size based on ship speed, yeah, or emitter count or something. Although I think if I change emitter count, it'll regenerate like all of the, like if I change the emitter count, the particle emitter will basically reset, right? Like all the existing particles will just go away. Now if there's a strong wind from the side of the boat, it might capsize. That'd be cool. The way it currently works is there's a strong wind from the side of the boat, you basically just, you pull the wind from the sails, which is kind of what happens if a sail gets hit from the side with the wind anyway. Like, you need to reposition the sail to be able to take advantage of that. I do want to slow the wisps down a little bit. I think they're a little too fast right now. Oh, we do need to make a change to the gust. We need to say something. Oh, we need to say if not initializing. We don't want to do any of this if we're initializing. Not the particle count, just the max scale. You also think the wind should not start at full effect speed, but rather grow in effect over the lifetime. The wind should not start at full effect speed. In terms of the way it hits the ship, a wind, if let's say I spawn this wind at maximum magnitude, that won't slow the ship, that won't speed the ship up nearly as much as if I hit the ship from afar at full speed. So the effect is, so yeah, so spawning a wind on a ship is like a slow speed thing. You're basically just turning the ship. But if you want to speed it up, you got to hit it from a little farther. You need to give the wind time to speed up for that to work. Unless you mean something else. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to aim farther away if you want the speed up. We kind of got that for free, just because we have the gust increase its velocity over time. Like, the gust knows what its intended intensity is supposed to be, but yeah, it takes a minute to get there. These ships are cruising. Definitely breaks our wake system as it currently stands. We could just fix it by just doubling the amount of particles respawning. I feel like we're not paying very much for these particles, but there's probably a better solution. I think you're right, in size might be better. Feel like we're focusing a little bit on juice today, but I think that's okay. I think getting some juice in here is good. The wisp animation speed or transparency could be a nice indicator for the strength. Yeah, it probably could. Yeah, I really haven't been messing with the particle parameters based on what's happening, but I really should be. Oh, I did make some changes to the particle parameter. I should probably look at see what those look like. We also probably don't want to start emitting. We don't really want to start emitting right off the bat. Oh, what? Oh, some of these variables are not tied to the resource. Some of these variables need to be changed. Yeah, let's not start by emitting, and let's set the emitting on. So, wrong script. Here we go. Say down, up. I'm gonna say wisp down, wisps up. So when just put that in here. Here. We're getting some weird effects where they start emitting too soon. So now they'll start emitting a couple frames before they start modulating, and that should be good. Okay, so if I wanted to limit the ship so that the damping was higher, the higher the intensity, just so that it's a little lossy, we would say something like, we would have some kind of thing here. We'd say like wind intensity divided by what we know the maximum intensity to be. I'm really unintuitively going to call him max int, maybe. I should probably call it max speed. I don't know. We could limit... Actually, we should probably limit the speed. And then... But have the speed be a... I don't know. I hard-coded the 40 in here before. Hey, still needs work. Now you want a 3D version of the game just because of those water shaders? Yeah. Oh, we'll get the Jess. I think we'll get the Jess code shaders in here. Still needs work. We've done some stuff today. How's it going with you? We've got wind speed in. We put speed back in. It's kind of breaking the particles to an extent, but We can fix that. It's breaking a lot of our particle systems. And yeah, so you can speed up ships to differing amounts depending on how you do this. If you spawn a wind directly on the ship, it's kind of like a high precision turn. But if you hit the ship from a little ways back with the wind, it'll just launch it. Which is kind of what everyone was intuitively doing when I was watching people play the game. Like if someone was like, okay, let's change your course. And then as soon as they were happy with the course, they were like, full speed, go, let's go. Still think this is maybe a little too high a speed, but maybe it's good. It's a little slower. Yeah, I think we need to make it based on the intensity, but not entirely. Because right now I think there's a little too much damping happening at low speeds and not enough damping happening at high speeds. Woke up late? Yeah, no worries. It's Friday. We've almost made it. Yeah, we need to basically start we need to start handling the parameters of the particles a lot better. Do you think the speed thing could work depending on the new challenges you put in the level design? I think that might be a challenge if a sea monster popped up. Yeah. Well, you have the ability to like slow a ship down almost on a dime now by just sucking the wind out of its sails. Like if you hit it from the side or the front. So you can stop ships and then restart them where you want. Yeah, people really wanted a way of speeding the game up. And I think being able to put some wind behind a ship that you're happy with, like when you're happy with the vector, or yeah, if you make the calculation, you're like, oh, a sea monster's coming, I need to just book it, or something like that. And the fact that you need to like hit them from a little bit of a distance if you want to keep their speed going. Because if you hit it right on top, it's not going to be very fast. But if you give yourself a little runway, you can really get them cooking. Yeah, the damping is too low, or too high at low speeds. All right, so the damping is going to be a thing. But yeah, I think some new challenges would be good. I want to have a couple new buildings in the next week so that I can record a little trailer or something. Not buildings, but you know, like environmental obstacles. I just want a few just to showcase them. Like I think a pile of rocks with like some sirens on them. Which I don't know how I'm going to draw sirens. I guess they're going to be like little mermaids or something. I'm not really sure how to draw a siren otherwise. I want some like tentacles. Some like weird bubbly tentacles coming up out of the water. I think that'd be a cool one. I kind of want to make a new temple. And some new ships. I think we're mostly, once we're happy with these mechanics, with our improvements to the mechanics, we're really just going to be juicing up the art. It's a lot of what we're going to be doing over the next week. This weekend, I'm going to try to get a water shader. I'm going to try to do something like the Just Codes water shader. I don't want the postmortem outline. I want my post-jam reflection. I don't think reflection is the right word. I think we were like post-jam dev plan. Got this. We've got this. We've also got this. I need to record another song. I think I'm going to record a new song for the trailer, and I'll record it with the like two or more instruments. Try to add some of that musical depth that we were talking about. I don't know about this swirl the wind around a ship. Oh, I guess we did this. We just happened to do this, kind of on accident. That was weirdly tied to this. It's not exactly swirling, but it's like similar. Drag length, increase wind speed. We did this. We still need to re-engineer this to some extent. We're doing that kind of right now, I guess. Wow, we're almost done with this to-do list. Or the first part, the areas of improvement. We just need to record some more music, finish up some of our re-engineering, and then do fix our particle effects. Additional particle effects and shaders, especially something for the ocean itself. We'll likely utilize a variant of just codes. Pixel art, ocean shader. I guess it's not an ocean shader, it's like a water shader. We need to tune particle parameters based on variables like speed, that to our dictionary for whatever reason. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing good on the improvement. And then we want to prioritize a few of these. I don't know about setting this up so soon, but maybe we want to set this up. As soon as I have a new temple, we'll set up this ship to and fro thing. I think we want to focus on set pieces because that'll read really well. These first couple, like set pieces and different ships, these are probably our highest priorities under the expansion area. A lot of this other stuff is not going to read super well on a trailer. Like the AI that's steering ships is kind of not relevant. But yeah, some environmental set pieces. Maybe a menu system mock-up just to show that there's going to be like level selection or something, or unlock. I don't know. I don't know about that. You made a lot in just 4 episodes. Yeah, that's true. Something about this game jam has like unlocked my productivity levels. Goose stuff, Cubus. No, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I'm giving a hard time. I don't need to give Cubus a hard time. Cubus is one of my core, one of my day ones here. No, there's a goose in the game. There should be birds. We do need to draw some little pixel art birds flying around. We really need to juice it up. I think having like we have our wind clouds here, and I don't think we want more of those, but I think we should add some big cloud shadows. I think I should make some big cloud shadow silhouettes and have them pass over the screen. Like imply that they're above the camera. We'll see. We'll see how we feel once we get that ocean shader. Having some more depth here, having the screen be a lot more alive. I guess we need to do something about the score. We also need to increase the faith screen thing here so that we can, like, the pixels are whole pixels. But yeah, next week will be a lot of improving our particles. Once we've locked in a lot of the mechanics, we can then tune the particles based on that. Not sure if I need to do something like have these, when these clouds hit, maybe have them fuse into one cloud, or have them spawn a new cloud at their combined vector velocity and then have them fade out, just so I don't have this double cloud situation. I think that could be pretty good. Recently made a goose mod for window kill. Oh, awesome. Seagulls, right? Yeah, let's work on the damping. I really need to get some redeemable channel point stuff, so I can so people can tell me to check my posture and drink my water. Because otherwise, I would just die. I mean, like any good streamer, I would just die without Twitch chat telling me what to do. Could have an iceberg level. That's a good idea. I do want to diversify to an extent away from like this pure Greek Mediterranean tropical thing we've got going. I want to diversify it a little bit to make it a little more generic seafaring stuff. So yeah, having some different biomes or whatever would be really cool. And yeah, I feel like painting icebergs should be like pretty easy. I was reviewing my jam videos, and the assets, the music and the art assets that like everyone says are their favorite, I spent so little time on. I spent so much time just fighting the engine and doing code. Like this stupid tree, I'm pretty sure I made this stupid tree in like 5 minutes. The island I made in even less, this trash island. So yeah, we'll be able to make some really good. We may need to make some new assets like islands as a tile map, which will help us a lot in terms of having different level designs. Because then we can have a different tile map and we can put node set pieces on top of them. Because we're going to need a tile map to be able to implement the Just Codes shader stuff. All right, what are we doing? Damping? Fixing the damping? Let me say damping equals, just so I can read this line of code. It's getting long. This is gonna be wind intensity times wind intensity divided by 40. The more intense the wind, no. Times 1, well, hold on. Thinking. Oh, still needs work. Gifting a tier 1 sub to Enomoth. Oh man. That's so nice. Enomoth. You've gotten, you can ship it now. You can ship it animated. That's so nice. Still needs work. I mean, y'all are going to be in the credits for the game, but you're going to be You're gonna be pretty close to the top. Still needs work. I enjoy this emote so much. Kuviman told me that he made the salmoning unicycle animation after seeing this. After seeing our animated sprite, I think we started a trend of animated jam emotes. Yeah, look at us trend setting. All right, so damping is wind intensity. So we want wind intensity, but we want it to be less. So let's say times 1. I don't know, let's say times 0.5. So times 1 plus divided by 2. I'm breaking it up this way so I understand what's happening. I know I can combine some of these values here. So we could say 0, so it's going to be half, and then the other half, or no, it's going to be 1 minus, this is what we want. We want 1 minus wind intensity divided by 80, which will be at the most 0.5. Putting 80 in here directly is really bad, because if we ever change this value on the gust controller, this becomes incorrect. Oh man, Cubus, that's awesome. That's great. Close it out with the Yar shrimp. Nice. But that squid's really cool. I need to figure out, it would take 2 of them, but I could probably get our little curly Q wind thing as a 2-part emote. It'd be really hard to like make them work because they both move. Maybe I need to do something like this and keep it static. Try to do a cool static emote. That's really awesome. I don't know what I would do with that, but I really want. We only have 1 subscriber emote right now and 1 follower emote. We need to be a little better. That's really cool. We'll get there though. Still early days. All right, let's see how I feel about this super janky damping variable that I made here. So on low speeds, it should be reasonable. No, it's basically stopped. What about at high speeds? Yeah, we haven't successfully... We still need to speed up maneuvering at low speeds and slow down maneuvering at high speeds. This number is going to be low. Maybe we want this to be 2 minus 40. let's maybe try to improve this. Let's go here to the game manager and let's say constant max speed. Actually, we could have this be an export. I prefer it being a constant, actually. Although, no, it should be on an autoloader, not the game manager. Yeah, I don't know. We'll fix that. We'll put that, maybe we'll have an autoload that's like constants. Just so we don't accidentally desync any of that stuff. Alright, so this should be faster at low speeds. And it should be 50% less effective at high speeds. And then it should also be affected by the dot product. Okay, this is not working the way I thought it would. Seems to be having the opposite effect. Yeah, it's actually speeding them up so much more. Okay. I'm doing this very wrong somehow. Let's break this up into two parts. Let's call it intensity damping. Let's call this dot damping. Let's break the dot damping out. Norm direction. Right. We recalculate the wind dot product. Wind velocity dot normalized. That should just be wind direction. Oh yeah, we needed to change this. We just couldn't before. Alright, so there's still something very wrong with this. So it's going to be whatever the wind intensity is. So it should actually be wind intensity here. This should be so it's 2. So at low speeds it's 2. This is actually like not really damping, it's like speed. So it'll be 2 times the wind intensity at low speeds. But at this it'll be okay, so it's never less than, so that's a problem. So it should be 1. Oh. So I'm not dealing with the fact that the wind intensity is itself low. When the wind intensity is low, it's low. So that's just going to be what it is. So it's going to have a reduced factor. So we actually just need to increase the wind intensity at low speeds and then decrease it at high speeds. So we actually need a big number here. Say like 4. Then we need this is going to be 1. 20 would be 2. Would be up to 4. So this would be up to 4, but if it was maximum intensity, you'd basically not change the norm direction at all, which is not what we want. We just want diminishing returns at high speeds and a boost to the wind intensity at low speeds. Probably 12. Oh my god. Why is that happening? Right, let's try it with 10. Oh wait, here it would be... No. I might need to look up some utility, some utility math. Look up a curve. Actually, there's a website that just gives you curves, right? I forgot what it was called, but I can go find it. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it. It just gives you like curve formulas. Kind of what I need to do. Yeah, this is out of control right now. Oh, our maneuvering at low speed is better. It's not great. It's still really low, which is, it's like way too low. Oh, yeah, we're having some trubs. Easings.net, yeah, that's it. There's a curve resource, by the way, so you can edit them in the inspector. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I need to figure that out. It's probably not going to be a solve this right now kind of thing. At export variable, my curve. Okay. Let's call that. Can't really have it be an export right now. Oh no, I can. I can have it be an export on the parent, right? Would the children take that? These are inherited scenes. So if I set an export variable on the parent scene, no, that won't work because they're inherited scenes, but they have a script that extends the ship script. Maybe it does work. I don't know. Let's try it. Damping curve. All children will get all member variables. It's not really a child though. It's an inherited scene. Oh, is that what they call it? Instantiate child scene. No, that's not it. That's not really it. We were talking about an inherited scene. That's different than a child scene. All inheritors? Okay. Then you can sample the curve at a point. Okay. Yeah. Sick. Cool. Tight. That's exactly what we want. Cubus coming in with the win here. New curve. So at 0... Oh, we actually need this to be greater than 1, so we need to up the max value. Let's call it like 10. So let's say, oh, I see. So let's say we start at 10, then we end at 0.5 or something like that. Okay, and then I could add another point. So, kind of want a different curve. Oh, I can change the tangents. It's kind of cool. Yeah, here we go. Interesting. So we could say 10. No, we could say 0. And then this one will be like negative 45 maybe, something like that. This is super sick. Double up naming. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not naming this very well. Intensity damping. This is pretty cool. And then we just sample this at a point. That's pretty awesome. We don't want it to be 0 though. We want it to end at like... So if it's at 1, we want it to be like... Okay, so we need to fix this to an extent. No. We need like 0.5. So it's x is 1, 0, y is 0.5. Something like that. And then we need to deal with this. We need to curve this down. So here we go. This is probably good enough to start. Know the child naming since there are node children and inheriting child classes. So like here's the parent, here's the child. These are like the inherited bits. I guess this part is no longer inherited because it's using a different script. So maybe I am messing this up. So I probably don't have access to that. I don't know. Because what I did is I took this, made an inherited scene, and then I just swapped out the script. Maybe that's the problem, because that makes this different. Oh, it still says it inherits it. Never mind. This is probably fine. It says it inherits the parent ship. So it should still keep this. Damping curve. As long as the script extends friendship, it has the members. Yeah, it extends, what do I call this? Is it ship? I think I changed the class names. Ship controller is the name of it, but I think its class name is just ship. Yeah, it is. So yeah, it extends ship. Okay, yeah, so it inherits that scene that has this export, and it extends the same class name. So yeah, it should have access to this. Sick. Thanks for explaining that to me. That is very helpful. 9:30, we have a little bit of time. We can see if we can maybe plug this in and work it. I'm gonna read about curves a little bit. Sample. Turns the y value for the point that would exist at the x position offset. Sick. Sample baked. Bakes the curve's points if not already baked. We're not changing the curve, so we could probably just use that one. But that's cool, so I could change this curve in real time if I wanted. Oh, bake resolution, 100. The number of points to include in the baked, i.e. cached curve data. That's probably fine. 10 points, 100 data. It's kind of cool. Pretty cool. Figured out why I was having wake problems earlier. It's because the wake was aligned to the y-axis, not the x-axis, because I'm an idiot. Fixed that last night. All right, let's get back to what we're trying to do here. So we're trying to say we're gonna go to the ship controller, and we're gonna try to say int damping. Actually, we don't really need to say int damping. We can say wind intensity times damping dot sample baked. Offset is it's gonna be ship intensity or no, wind intensity divided by 40. Probably spin that out, back out into a variable just so I can read it. Calling it int damping is probably not helpful, because it means it's int for intensity, not for... I should probably call it mag damping or something. Probably call it magnitude. Intensity is not a good word to shorten into a three-letter thing. This may work. May or may not work. Let's see. Kind of excited to see. I'm gonna have a hard time debugging it if... Oh, crap. Well, that was something. Let's see if we can catch the next one. Oh my god, they're going so fast. They're going like bullets. Oh man, I can't even slow them down. I don't have enough time from when I see it to slow them down. Okay, well, something's gone horribly wrong. Wind intensity is 10, and we're dividing by 40, so it should be 0.25. Oh. Yeah, we're doing a bad thing. I made the curve very wrong. Let's look at the curve again. I need more of a... I need a very different curve here. I need this to be like that. Not that far though. No. I probably need additional points is probably what I need, is to capture this better. There we go. Something like this. We want this to be so low, though. We probably want this to be like 0.1. We just want to approach a limit. We don't actually want to get there. This looks good. We might still need to deepen this. Because, yeah, at 0.25, it's going to be almost 5 times the intensity. That still might be, like, way too fast. Yeah, it is still way too fast, but can we at least, like, kind of fix it now? Sort of. Not really. Okay. We need something that's, like, almost logarithmic is what we need here. So that might be more easily achieved without having a hand-painted curve thing. So I'm doing this really slowly. Okay, so at really low speeds, how are you behaving? Kind of how we want. But at high speeds, you're just like a lunatic. Yeah. Okay, so we are... What happens if I hit you at like near... Oh, there's not enough time. Let's see if we can get a good clean hit here. I mean, I can sort of fix this by just... No, I can't. Let's hit him. Let's hit him with that. Yeah, this is outrageous. What if I hit you with like this? Did that not hit you? It did. Okay, so it is behaving well at high speeds. It's behaving pretty well at high speeds. It's actually maybe behaving too well at high speeds. So if we're at maximum speed, we actually want to be going a little faster than this. So let's bump this up at the end here. To like 0.2. And let's steepen this curve as much as we can. I actually think we've kind of reached... I think I need a third point to be able to achieve this. Yeah, we might redo this as like a logarithm or something. 'Cause tuning this like this is a little finicky. The precision. Are there presets? There are, but... I don't know, let's try that. It's ugly, but it might work. What speed even was that? 21. Okay, so 21 is acting up a little bit. That's 21 is 0.5. Lower speeds seem to be behaving pretty well. This is why we cut speed from the jam version of this game. We were having such a hard time. Alright, so let's do a couple things. So we don't seem to see practical speeds much higher over 30. So that's good. Honestly, let's stop. Maybe I can get some additional resolution. Actually, I guess I can't really. I guess it's kind of irrelevant whether we're normalizing this or not. Let's flatten it. So seems to be fine. Then our problem is around 0.5. We're still going too fast. Maybe we actually want this to come up a little bit at the end. Five. Maybe the easiest way to do this is to just apply a minimum, not go crazy with these curves, but to have a simple curve that also has a minimum. I have these tangents separate. That's cool. That's cool. So, yeah, I want these to be different. There we go. Okay, so I can affect each curve separately. That's pretty cool. I think I need to do that right now, but that's cool. Okay, we're getting back. We're getting back to like something like approaching sanity. Okay, now what if I hit you with the big wind? Like, what if I start you there? Oh, that didn't quite work. Let's hit you with the big wind. Or you, I guess. You have a lot of space. That's actually kind of what I want. The maneuvering at low speed is pretty reasonable. Good suggestion with the curves. It really helps me whenever I can work mathematical stuff out visually. So I'm really not much of a mathematician. I think the top speed is maybe a little too much, but maybe not. Maybe you should be able to hit him with the top speed. It's like certainly within a reasonable behavior. I don't know if it's like super tuned, but certainly within the realm of reasonableness. We might eventually slow down the maximum speed of the wind anyway. At which point this would also slow down. The drifting that we've introduced is kind of interesting. I do want to try introducing some slight turning to the ship to unlock the pixels a little bit. Yeah, because the drifting is a little too much. We need to introduce a little bit of turning. Yeah, thank you. Oh, there, hit him with the ship it. All right. Well, I think that's reasonable. I think we're chugging through along this development plan pretty well here. Uh-oh, I did something wrong. Trying to find like a small Godot streamer. Go hang out with. Oh, IRAD is doing some stuff. Go hang out with IRAD. Let's do that. Lewis, you want to go back to Lewis? Yeah, I'm down. I think we rated him yesterday, but he's working on a logo today, I think. And he's only got a handful of viewers. That's probably more proportional to where we're at. Yeah, let's raid Lewis again. Sounds good. Good idea. Lewis, I'm struggling to like write their name every single time. Morera Dev. Morera Dev. Yeah, thank you. Thank you both. Thank you for the gifted sub. Still needs work. Probably no streaming this weekend. There's a lot of work to do, but we'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to look at, like a new ocean and stuff. All right, let's do this. All right, thanks everyone on the YouTube side. If you're watching the VOD, we'll be back. I'll see you next time.